Yeah, says we're live. Yeah, maybe we are. I hope we are. How y'all doing? Yes, a little bit of Mama's Pride from old St. Lou. I knew the group and partied with them, and lots of great memories there. And the link before that was Ted Nugent. Super Jam 1976 with REO Speedwagon. I think let's see, Fleetwood Mac. And anyway, how y'all doing? Good to see you. Thank you all you moderators, you beautiful people, David Barry, Susie Q, David Castle, and the rest of all of y'all. Candy Apple, how are you doing? Good to see you. So I hope y'all are doing well. Hello, Kent Cook. Yes, yes, yes. Favor and Bosto to everyone, and happy birthday to those who are having in your anniversary, etc., etc. So good to see you, and thank you, Twisted Isby. Good to see you as well. Fire Spirit Girl, how are you doing? 13. Know Thyself, how are you? Good to see you. Pure Love Ascension. Yeah. So this is amazing. Even right before we went live, the count that I have thus far, emails, and then in the comment section, those as well. We're up to 107 people, folks. Maybe more than that. I don't know, but that's what I have a count on. 107 people singly manifesting. And what are we manifesting? Well, we'll just do a review. Denver, Colorado, right? There it is on the map from all around the world. That's our bullseye. That's where our focus, our intent, and we are seeing, what are we seeing? Abundant rain. And we mean like really abundant rain. Rain that, yeah, if you look at this region, we're in a moderate drought, heading to a severe drought. What an experiment. I know some people are thinking, well, you got to be careful when you're dealing with the weather. Yeah, I agree. But, you know, this is the only way to truly validate something on such a scale. We have 107 energy, life force energies that are thinking, seeing, talking rain, heavy rain for Denver, Colorado. And so that's our focus. That is our intent. It's a really cool opportunity because it's not that difficult. We can all see rain. Now you just have to see it in Denver, Colorado, even if you are 5,000 miles away. So phase one is for the next 5 days. We already started technically, not even technically. We planted the seed, the precognition, so to speak, yesterday, but we start today at noon. And here's the idea that we go for 5 days. That'll put us to Tuesday with Trina and myself on a second look. And then we will wait and monitor what happens within 5 days. And yeah, we'll see. A tremendous start, 107, and like I said, it may go even higher. But so I was doing it when we cooking last night and doing the dishes, and when I was doing my calisthenics, I'm there and I'm thinking, Denver, Colorado, rain, heavy rain, and I'm talking the type of rain that will bust this drought right out. So there you go. And thank you for all of you who are participating. Listen, this is how it's done. This is how if you think about it, no matter what part of your life you're in, you're always learning something. When we went to school, a lot of children were shy. I wasn't. But in any case, we learned by collectively observing. That's how it starts. And then it advances from there. And so that's where we are going to be. So I am excited about it. And let's just see. Simple thing to think. If we can truly create reality, my wife and I were talking about it as we were cooking. And Lynn's, you know, she's the skeptic side, and it balances out. And so she says, all right, so tell me how this works. How are you going to change reality? And I said, well, honey, reality really isn't nothing more than a skin stretched over substance, energy. And you've got this constant manifestation that all of us are immersed into. She looked at me and she says, all right, I can buy that. Yeah. She said, okay. And she says, continue. And I said, so all we're doing is that this is a small group. And I said, we are superimposing our reality on the already existing reality. And I said, we don't have to cover the complete sphere. We're talking just to one little part of the sphere. She looked at me and she says, I think y'all are going to do it. And she's thinking about it, and you have to know Lynn. And she says, and good luck with that, as it turns out. And of course, she asked the question. She says, so what happens if this begins to like really rain? And I said, well, that's the idea. She says, but really rain? I said, well, then we have overwhelming evidence, don't we? So that's how I see it. And we'll have fun pursuing it. Why not? Right. Anyway. Tonight on the Steiger Perspective, artistfirst.com, 10 p.m. Eastern, 8 p.m. Mountain. I'm going to go and revisit. So let me give you some backstory here. I keep getting this in flashes in my time of meditation, and now it's starting to flash even in my dreams. I don't know. I get the sense, though, there's something that's been prepared. This is not looking into the future. This is just feeling the energy that's already here. Something is going to happen to shock the collective consciousness of Homo sapiens. Now, I did a program about a year and a half ago, maybe almost two, Sectarum Omega. This is a fascinating story. The backdrop here is this, and we're not going to go through the whole thing, but this is one of the most interesting stories, because when I did this, the video of the alien cardinal was not out, but there was evidence that something was afoot within the Vatican. I'm not going to go through it because this is not what this show is. I want to let you know, go back and check it out. You'll enjoy it. And tonight on the Steiger Perspective, that is what we're going to be talking about, because I happen to really do believe that we're in for disclosure. Neil Young on the album After the Gold Rush. That album is really kind of interesting, the backdrop of that story. And After the Gold Rush, we know that the song is about the ships coming down and taking the chosen few up. And it's really because Mother Nature has had enough of this. The group Quicksilver Messenger Service, What About Me, is another one of those songs about, you know, hey folks, we've pissed the earth off. And when the earth gets pissed off, things happen. So anyway, check it out. We'll get more into that, because I believe all of this is interconnected. I really do. I think I keep getting glimpses of something. Something is going to happen. And speaking of which, so go and check this out. It's actually on YouTube. It's called The Lathe of Heaven. Now, check it out. Go watch it. I saw this when it originally aired on PBS. I guess that was back in the early 80s, I think. Oh, people want to see the card. Yes. Do-do-do-do. Do-do-do-do. Anyway, so the basis of the storyline here is this. There is a man, young man, and it opens and he's riding on a bus and it's raining. Now he is exhibiting signs of psychiatric stress. So he ends up going to see the psychiatrist. Now, I'm not going to tell you the whole story, but it has everything to do with what we're doing. The long and the short of the story is this young guy could affect reality. Whatever he went to sleep thinking, he woke up in that reality. One reality, it was hot. The sun was never stopped shining. In another reality, it was raining and miserable. But the psychiatrist found out that he had this ability. So the psychiatrist, in turn, begins to manipulate the young man's creation of reality, where the psychiatrist basically put an earworm in that he knew no matter what, he knew what the future was going to be, and he waited for the transmutation to take place. And he appeared better off, by the way, in what this kid's ability to see a new reality. And it becomes very interesting. So Dark City is another good one. That is a great example too. Little different bases, but same foundation. Just that the aliens captured Earth and what little of it was left. And in fact, I really enjoy that movie, Juryman. I really do. That is a good movie. Go watch it. It's a good one. Dark City is one of those that really shows you how memories can be manipulated based upon the reality that those memories are up against. And so if your memories are completely the antithesis of what your foundation of reality is, well, that's when you begin to see psychosis, or at least what our psychiatrists would did it. I still can't get to Shell Beach. Ain't that right, David Barry? Absolutely. Fantastic. I mean, and it shows. I mean, before Brian transcended, he was going to do the holographic universe. I think Robert and Trina are going to pick up on that. It's fabulous. Got the book. It's in digital form. Go get it. So this little experiment we're doing may not be so little, folks. It may be, let's see, a whole bunch more than we can imagine. And I'm sure that they are watching, whoever they are. I like to go back to the movie They Live. Remember that one with Rowdy Ryder Piper? I mean, when wrestling was really wrestling, right? But that movie is still one of the best movies in showing how easily humans can be manipulated, be mass hypnotized, under a spell, a control, and never know it. And only those who begin to truly see what the real lies are, well, we're the ones that become a little bit of the oddballs. You know, they're one of those. Martha, don't look at them. They're one of those. Yeah, but Skynet is real, you know? That's all I can say. But seriously, and many more people are beginning to see. It's Gene Roddenberry wrote about this. It's the ability to understand how we phase into frequencies. Each of us in this realm are phased into a perfectly timed frequency, a vibration. And you can't break it. If you break it, then things become a little unglued. Yeah. So it becomes a real challenge at that point. Give me 1 second, folks, and I bet you there is thunder out there. So, yeah, because Dancer, just lay down. I already anticipated this. So when we look at what we're doing, and how we can phase the difference. Hold on 1 second, folks. Yes, it's live, and you know what's live when you gotta interrupt it. But she's a little blessing, and she just gets scared. Lots of animals get scared of big booms. Hell, a lot of us adults get scared of big booms. What are we talking about? So anyway, changing reality. If once we see effect, and I'm not saying that we'll see effect, I don't know. This is an experiment. We have a hypothesis here that we're testing. And I'm telling you, with 107 and counting, we're going to do this. So I have absolutely no doubt. I know we are. And woohoo! So anyway, got a lot to cover. I don't know why every one of you should have an alternative source of starting fire. It should be in your bug out bag. And isn't that interesting? Journeyman says, what I'm feeling is that those beings on the other side of the screen know that I am more aware of them now, and it's different. Yeah. The book I'm reading in this one right here, it really compresses that. If y'all want to get this, I'm sure someone can find it out there in digital format. The Timeline Collapse and Universal Ascension. This is one freaking fine read. It's like drinking a fine, a very balanced Merlot that hits your palate, and the taste, the smells of a good wine. This one does the brain in the same way. It's a good read. Interesting construct. And as we continue down our path of getting to know the Infinite One, we're going to pick up, we're still into this whole thing, law of attraction. I think this is what we're doing. We're operating within that law. And I can't see where we violated any of the principles of the law. So then the law should work perfectly for us. Right? Right. course it should. We're having fun today. Suji is going to be on tomorrow. Looking forward to Suji. She's into some really important work where women are concerned, particularly in sexual healing. And so, yeah, looking forward to that. And thank you for all the calming thoughts. It worked. Miss Dancer is over there. Calm. Before we get into the reading, I'm having so much fun here. So got a new book. I've often wondered, and I've read what is out there in other books, generalities, but I really wanted to get into some more meaningful research and work. Set. Set. From the Egyptian point of view, Set is our Satan. And since Satan doesn't exist because Satan isn't of a personification, Satan is exactly what it means. It means adversary. In modern day vernacular, you know what Satan would be translated? A pain in your ass. That's what it would be. A pain in your ass. And so in Lucifer, again, made up word. Remember, to all of you, there are some people I've gotten some emails on that were really struggling about this. So I'll tell you very quickly, Lucifer doesn't exist only in what modern man has personified through what we're doing. I believe we can actually manifest beings. Might be something for us to try. Well, that might be a little too advanced, but I digress. Remember, Lucifer, when Jerome put that in 475, when he was in his cave in Caesarea, Lucifer is a Greek Latin slang word. It's a hybrid. Now, how the hell did a Greek Latin slang word suddenly show up in an ancient Hebraic text when Latin or Greek existed? Hate it when those things come up. But Set, let's get back to Set. So it's on my list now. I have it. I always have a stack of books that is in the pile to be read. This one will be forefront in that because I want to, if there is an alien being known as Set, then we should know about it, right? I think we all will agree that anything that's God-related, deity, yada, 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 is alien. Very few humans walk the planet. I've gotten so many emails on that. And there's a lot of people in transition here. Transition meaning they're coming out of a religious belief and they've awakened. And so it's a little hard for them, but even for some of us who are a little further down the path, to think that we're not all the same on the inside. That puts it all into a whole different construct when you think about it. I mean, Teledyne Systems is here. That's all I got to say. And yeah, we're all not the same on the inside. We're not all from the same origin. We ain't all serving the same deity. That's why I believe that we have so many deities in the world today, is that because where many of these bodies, what are inhabiting them, are from, they brought the memories of those belief systems here. By the way, folks, it's really storming outside. I just want to let y'all know. That's a fact, Wayne, and it's about to come online. Well, yeah. So when we realize this, well, it puts it in a little different perspective. It doesn't surprise me that why we meet people on our life paths that we just don't like. And it's not that it's you or them. It's just, it's negative polarity, baby, you know. And I think we all know why now. It's very evident because we're not all on the inside the same. What an interesting way to go about life now. It blends in perfectly to many of those cryptic messages that some have entertained angels unaware. Some have, had angels in their homes, and then you get to the antithesis of that would be demon. But yet demon really, when its base word, means nothing more than divine being. So who's the good guy? Who's the bad one? I don't know. Is it the angels or is it the divine ones? I know the answer. It's tough out there. It's okay. It's really storming outside, folks. So keep on with the intent. Keep on with the thought. We're going to do this. That's all I got to say. So deep thought. Brian Lunsford, hello, buddy. Been thinking about you. Deborah says synchronicities are everywhere. They are. They're off the chart. People are saying free choice. So tell you what, got a lot of stuff here to cover. And man, we are time traveling today, folks. Do. Give me 1 second here. Y'all just go ahead and talk amongst yourselves and, smoke them if you got them. And, y'all have to have a sense of humor, man. Seriously. Got to let up a little bit. Seriously. All right. So we're talking about the law of attraction. We're in an experiment right now in a law of attraction. 107, probably, like I said, the way it's going now, I didn't expect this many. I really didn't. And it says a lot about this group. Yeah. This is a PDF you can get. It's on the law of attraction, how you actually get this working in your life, because it's already working in your life. It's just a matter of changing the polarity. The 7 principles of hermetics. Everything is, on the same line. It's just the polarity. Some like it hot, some like it cold. Some are in the middle and don't know. See how that goes? Anyway, this is a cool book. It kind of helps explain in many ways how it's just everywhere. I like how he says, have you noticed that sometimes when you need just falls into place or comes to you from out of the blue, let's say a telephone call, or you've bumped into someone on the street you've been thinking about. Perhaps you've met the perfect client or life partner just by fate or being at the right place at the right time. All of these experiences are evidence of the law of attraction in your life. I want to stop here and really focus in on something, folks. Boy, I've seen what we call a collide effect. That's pretty cool. Anyway, one of the things I do in my self-talk in front of the mirror is that I confess and I give appreciation to the spirit of prosperity. And it is an actual spirit. And all those spirits that hang with that group. They're a far out group, man. I mean, when you cross over, that's the group you want to be partying with. Because they're partiers. Oh, you doubt me? Oh, good. Well, let's get into this a little bit. The reason why I know that they're partiers, you being at the right place at the right time is called luck. That's all luck is. That you, that a billion of different things all came in to that focus at that time, at that moment where you were at. It happens all the time. Now, some people will say, well, that's random. I don't believe that. It may be for some, but I believe I can confess it into my life, and I give thanks for it. I'm grateful for it. I mean, you don't have to be too bright on the meter to know that it's always wise to be grateful, appreciative. And when you begin to confess it over yourself in the mirror, so funny because I'm doing this, and Lynn just laughs when I do this, but I catch her doing it. She says, you have so much confidence when you're talking to yourself in the mirror. She says, it's almost like you're having two conversations. I said, I am. Number one, this body is actively participating in it, but more importantly, I have a channel open. And many times when I go by and I say, you know what, Steiger, you are one good looking fellow. And I'll hear it many times answering, yes, I am. I am, and I create. So try speaking and being grateful for that you are at the right place at the right time. I mean, this has huge connotations written all over it. You want that. Anyway, have you heard about people who find themselves in a bad relationships over and over again, and who are always complaining that they keep attracting the same kind of relationships? The law of attraction in action. We see it all the day, every day. It's just that we become so anesthetized through it. You know, humans love to be ministers of basically anesthetizing ourselves. We do it as a culture, as a society, as a species. And depending on who, you know, what color is in popularity, meaning which country, some are legal and some are illegal. Because if you're going to self-anesthetize yourself, well, we might as well make some money off it while you're doing it. Oh, but you know, if there's something that's more mind-altering that, well, we just can't push those limits, we'll make that illegal. And then we'll do it the stealth way by Big Pharma. You see how this goes? So anyway, this is just a small piece of what we're looking at here, because as I said yesterday, look around in your life and you have attracted exactly what is here. You know, I seek knowledge, and as Lynn said, knowledge seeks me. I am in covenant with prosperity, and prosperity is in covenant with me. And I have certain rights, certain conditions that are part of that covenant relationship. And if you don't look at those things as covenant relationships, then it might be something you want to put in your inventory and check out, because there very much are. We are creatures of covenants. It's how the afterlife works. There's covenants over there. And speaking of which, in the book I was just talking about, this timeline collapse, folks, we're going to visit. I believe we're going to get to the point where this group, and this is now tells me this group is ready. And as we build foundation, we're not going to skip anything here. We're going to take it methodically. We're going to document it, and we're going to have a foundation. But I believe that this may be the group as well, that where we begin to do group visits into the death realm. Now, I know that sounds really bizarre, but it's not as bizarre as you think it is. The death realm or the spirit realm is literally, it's just a thought away. Your ethereal self, the real you, baby. I think we're going to be able to do that. So anyway, boy, you just get so much into these things. It's like, oh, this is so much fun. There are a number of words or expressions that describe evidence of the law of attraction. Brian and I talked about this one time. It was over a year ago, and Milky Way. And as I told him, I said, if most people ran a tape player in the background of themselves, they would be quite shocked at what they are talking. The vast majority of people never hear themselves. They're deaf. Seriously. It's amazing how you can hear but be stone deaf. People who cuss a lot, use a lot of profanity. Now, I always like throwing around what I call the casual words, like shit and stuff like that. But the ones who really get into it, they don't hear themselves. They just don't hear it. So if you've ever used any of these words or expressions, you're actually referring to the law of attraction. Here are just a few. Out of the blue, serendipity, coincidence, fate, karma, just fell into place. The synchronicities are off the scale. Luck, meant to be. And in this book, he says you'll learn why these experiences happen. More importantly, you'll discover how you can use the law of attraction more deliberately. You'll be able to attract all that you need to know, how to do it, and how to have it. So you can get more of what you want and less of what you don't want. As a result, you will have your ideal client, your ideal job, your ideal relationship, your ideal vacation, your ideal health, more money in your life, and all that you desire. Really, it's true. I want to share something with all of y'all because this is a class that we're all learning to be a part of. You have to getting the next thing queued up. One of the things I am most grateful for was and I would say intently 40 years that I was part of the prosperity movement in Christianity. Many other denominations did not like us. We were called cults. We were called the name it and claim it crowd. But those were just blind minds. What I learned from that, and I'm thinking my days with Joyce Myers. Joyce and I had many conversations in the bookstore and sitting in her office, that words play a more important role in our lives than the masses have any idea about. And I ran the bookstore, so I, was responsible for selling all of her tapes. And it was told to me by a particular theologian who came and visited the church that our bookstore, he said, was probably one of the most intellectually elite bookstores he'd ever saw in a church. Because I was into research, it was like, yeah. But my point was this, folks, this is what I learned. Prosperity is for everyone. It's just that we are inherently doubtful creatures. We're taught to doubt ourselves. We're taught to second guess ourselves. And once you do that, then you lose that intuition, that ability that children have naturally. Children can sense danger. They can sense, adults who have a bad negativity because they're different inside, as to others who they want to be next to. And what I learned is that you have what you say. And I became a fanatic on this. I would not be around people who couldn't control their tongue. I didn't want to have anything to do with you. In my opinion, you were ignorant. You couldn't see the very reason for you being in that. And that was a wrong approach. That's too harsh. But remember, this is back in the 80s. I was all about making money, wealth, because I grew up poor. I knew what poverty was, and it sucked. And being on your own at 15, you have some real challenges, because if you come out of poverty, you have a tendency to deviate to poverty. The few who reject it and decide not to have a part of it, we all have a learning curve, and sometimes it can be much more detailed than others. But I learned this. And the thing that as I look back in my life, I learned from the masters. I learned from people like Earl Nightingale. Earl Nightingale I would definitely say that he was sent to me. When I got introduced to Earl Nightingale, it changed my life. I saw the keys that were going to be required. And now that I'm at this point in life, I realize the very same focus that I applied there works here. Whether it's magic, whether it's alchemy, whether it's casting spells, we cast spells all the time. When I look into the mirror and I do what I call spirit talk, self-talk, I'm speaking literally a spell over me. That's all prayer is. Prayer is a spell. It's just that most people were taught wrongly in its interpretation. In fact, within all religious circles, spells are the number one thing that's most used. Doubt me, in Christian services, they always did the benediction at the end. It's a spell, folks. Now may you go out, may the Spirit of God embrace you and protect you. Yeah. That person sitting in the pulpit is speaking to you a spell. You just don't know it. And the reason why you have so much belief in it is because your belief has now been transmuted into faith. And when you have faith in that, there's no other spell that's going to break your spell, because your faith is in that spell. You know what, Pamela Jean, I'm just thinking of CCR myself. Gonna put a spell on you. Yeah, anyway, but it's true. And these are the lessons that I learned. It's how I learned about healing. Many people are healers, it's just that they've never been taught. And their faith, as we used to say back in the day, was corrupted. Their faith was more in their doctors and in the magic little pill you're taking. You know, every drug is still tested by the placebo effect. Yes, yes, yes. And Phil McCracken says, Wayne, please hear me. Well, what's up, Phil? How you doing? Anyway, it's true. there were many times, you know, and I'll just be very candid. Here's a little political side of me. When I saw Trump with Paula White and Kenneth Copeland and all the rest of them, I thought, oh, we're in deep shit. Those are some pretty powerful wizards. I'm just telling you, and sorceresses and priestesses and what have you. And when you lay your hands on someone and you start speaking over them, you are speaking an incantation. This stuff is as old as dirt. And it's just how it works. Well, that's cool, Pamela Jean. I like to see that. So when I'm trying to explain to you, when we read these books about, and we're going to get into it, it's just that we're going down a path that we were supposed to go to. What's the matter, Dancer? Is it too much for you? Well, come here. I know. Come here. Come here. Okay. All right. Got my Dancer. And Dancer, you're on worldwide video. Everyone's seeing you. Yes, they're speaking favor to you, Dancer. It's okay. All right. All right. Just settle down. You're going to be fine. So anyway, what I'm trying to pass on to everyone here, we're in an experiment. We're creating a reality that we're going to superimpose upon another reality. But that reality, folks, was formed in the same way. Words. Interesting, consciously aware. That's very interesting. And I'm just trying to bring out to you folks, this is incorporated in every aspect of life. When I belonged to one of the most, it's labeled the most far right conservative group in America, we opened our meetings in a certain way. And it immediately cast the spell, the pall upon the group. And so, yeah, when it comes to poverty, sickness, the inner fears, all of this, because we live in a reality of where spells are done it's how we live. I showed you how the House of Representatives is not a chamber in the sense of what we think, but I showed you it's a temple. And when you have laws that are made inside a temple, all temples have spells. And it's usually done in another language. In our case, here in the United States, it's done by legalese. Legalese is a different language. It's in with the English group, but legalese is a completely different language. That's why most people, when they get into a court of law, you want an attorney, because why? The attorney has done what? Passed the bar. And you find out in court, you can't pass the bar in a court unless you are a sworn officer of the court, which means an attorney. So when I look at wizardry in the context of beginning to look at the aspects ratios of the creator, discussing I am, how I can be service to others, how I can invoke favor, how I can create realities, personalities, personifications, it's all around us. So I'm just trying to look in here at there, and Dancer is starting to calm down. I know it was terrible, huh? She says, yeah. And you guys are what? Creating rain? She's like, I ain't digging this at all, man. This is not my reality. It's okay. Daddy loves you. Oh, yes, that's all right. So we'll have Dancer here for the last little bit that I'm on here. Why does Mary always win? It might be because that's what she sees of herself. I find money, or should I better say, money finds me. And, you know, as I've told you before, whether it's a penny or sometimes a gold coin, it happens. I'm at the right place at the right time all the time. Furthermore, I'm in covenant with the spirit of prosperity. I give gratitude for wealth, for fortune. I thank you that I always am the head, not the tail, that I always come out above and not beneath. Those are the things that when it gets down into you, it's there, baby. That's where that expression, out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaks. Because that's exactly what's there. If you want to know what's truly in, well, thank you, Lost in Space. Good deal. I find money, it seems like, when I need it. Claudette, that you are on that. That is one of the principles of wealth. Wealth has many different aspects of it. Many times, I knew a couple that lived like this. They didn't have jobs. They were creative artisans. But the interesting thing is, they never lacked anything. Never. And they had a beautiful house that it's not the way, they never took a mortgage. And a mortgage, you do understand, is basically derived from the word morgue. Until you're dead, baby. Oh, Dancer, it's okay, baby. I know. It's just terrible, isn't it? I know. Oh, well, say hello to everybody. You're so beautiful, Dancer. Yes, look at that. Oh, you're so beautiful. Well, everyone, I had this whole thing we were going to be reading on this thing, but hey, it turned out the way it was. We have tomorrow, we have Sue G. Monday, got Miss Franny Gleason coming on. Looking forward to that. Darth, you're a wise man. That's why I just don't talk a whole lot around people. Most of the time, what people have to say, I'm not interested in hearing. I really, and the vast majority of it is gossip. I got no time for that. You go up to someone and you say, who are you? And they'll tell you, well, they'll say their name. And no, you go, no, but who are you on the inside? Man, they give you looks like, where the heck did you come from? Where did you beam in? That's what my point is. Just nuts. And it is raining, folks. It is raining right now. Keep on thinking. Rain, heavy rain, Denver, Colorado. We got 5 days to do this. The governor may be calling us to say, stop. We're going to have fun doing it, no doubt about it. Anyway, Bosto, to all of you, I had fun today. Today was just kind of a kickback, kind of a breezy type of feeling for myself. It was kind of fun, you know. And although Dancer is saying, let me tell you what fun is not. Phil, thank you. Good to see you, and hope you had fun in here. Come back. Hey, Big Al, how you doing? How you doing? How's Mr. Perry doing? Ginger, good to see you. All of you fine people, so good. Hey, it's when I'm teaching, talking, however you want to look at it, it works. It really does. And even when you have people who steal from you, you don't curse them. Now, you go through an emotional cycle, but you never curse them for what they did to you. What you do is that you do the favor invocation. You put them in the center of the power ring, the magic circle, and then you invoke favor over them. You speak favor into everything that they do. That favor protects them. You do that for the people who scorn you, who ridicule you. You put their picture, their essence, in the center of that magic circle, and you start speaking favor over them. You know, all of that goes away. Now, the situation may not have changed, but it changed for you. And what they don't understand, what they are benefiting from, is because of you. Now, that is learning prosperity. And yes, it's definitely service to others. All right, folks. I'm going to go take Dancer to her thunder coat. She has a little thunder coat she has, and we'll be calming over her, so she'll be fine. Tonight, check it out. Sectarium Omega. Going to go revisit that. There's something there. Many of us, thank you, all of you who are participating in the great experiment. There may have been others, I don't know, but I know this. This is our first. And folks, we are already successful. We're going to make it even more successful. And then there's no stopping us, folks. No stopping us. I'm just telling you. All right, we should all cast prosperity spells on each other. You know, there's really do that. There is a book. I'll bring it up tomorrow. Yeah, we absolutely should speak prosperity into all of our lives here. It's part of experiment number 3 to let you know on the list. Individually, we're going to start focusing in on each other. And we're going to use key words just to let you know what's coming. Thank you, David Barry. Over on Discord, check it out. David, I really do appreciate you. The Crystal Network, make sure your picture's up there. Put the name to the face. That's what I say. And eventually we'll get you on live. Love to hear your voice as well. Might be a good project, David, that we could do where someone can make a recording of just simply saying Bosto, and we can now know what the voice is to the picture. I don't know, idea. All right, much love to you all. Thank you. Honored to be here, to be a part of you, and be good to yourself. Bosto to everyone you meet, right? All right, we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.